You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal. I'm here with Jeff and Ken. How are you both today?
Hello, Neal. We got a very special one today.
Indeed, really looking forward to this one.
And we don't just mean that like special like we always say it.
That's true, because every day is a special day, but today is an extra special day. Matt isn't here, unfortunately, but he sends his best wishes.
Which is why it's so special.
That's right.
Just kidding, Matt. We love you.
Today, we're so excited to be here. We've been asked by our good friend Jay Borsom to help with a special streamathon for just a wonderful business. And I just want to tell a little bit about that business before we introduce Jay. It's called Critical Grind Board Game Cafe in Shorewood, Illinois, in our hometown of the Illinois, Chicagoland area. And it's the only board game cafe of its kind. Ken, I saw they have a one-piece game you can play over there, one-piece night. And they have 600 board games. They're growing. They have a library of all of them available to play at the cafe for free or for purchase or rent to bring it home. Created by Dana Buxbaum and Sean Tennant. This was a board game company started in 2018. They host pop-up gaming events at breweries, libraries, employee engagement events, as well as various exciting events hosted at the cafe. You can play role-playing games there, trading card games, trivia nights. Jeff, you can go play Magic there. We know you love Magic. And they also have a menu of coffee, tea, and smoothies, refreshers, all that good stuff. And you can even have chaos toast, which means you roll for the type of toast you get on a dice.
I like it.
So you can find Critical Grind Board Game Cafe at 852 Sharp Drive in Shorewood, Illinois. Or you can go to criticalgrind.com, or if you're on socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at Critical Grind. So please check them out. We're so excited to be here. We wrote a special game. This is a live game that we're going to be playing. We're going to introduce our guests. But first, let's introduce our friend Jay Borsom to tell us a little bit more about what we're doing today.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you so much for having me and for a crazy, unprecedented 10th appearance on the podcast, Neal. You need better guests and hosts and friends at this point. But yeah, I'm sitting here live right now in the far back corner of Critical Grind Cafe, again in beautiful Shorewood, Illinois. If you're in the area, I'm going to be here until 11 p.m. This is the second of 7 consecutive scheduled trivia events we have on tap. Very, very pleased to be able to reach out to some of the best podcasters in the industry to bring you in for a little bit. I have 15 teams, both here and online on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/liquid_courage. That is courage with a K, by the way. Ready to play in tonight's game, but that's not what people are going to hear in the recording. So, Neal, why don't you tell us who people are actually going to hear playing this game?
Well, thank you for that segue. Our first guest that we're going to be having playing solo today is our friend Markkus Ellis, a Savage Superstar on Patreon, coming to us from Washington. How's it going, Markkus?
It is going fantastic. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for having me.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you feel going up against 15 teams.
I'll start with that part of it. I'm terrified. That's a lot of pressure, and I'm kind of dumb.
The consequences are high for this one too. Just so you know. Right. So you know what? Actually, I'm gonna change that around. I feel great because I'm gonna really make people feel good about themselves today. At least 15 teams worth of people. But I'm from the Seattle area, and I co-host a sports trivia podcast, and that's why you're all going to feel great, because this isn't sports and I'm going to do my best. But yes, I'll plug that later, I guess.
That sounds good. And as you've messaged us before, the winning team gets your house or something, I think, right? Is that you're giving up the rights, the deed?
Yep. House is on the line. I will be outside on the street if this doesn't go well.
Awesome. Well, our next guest, you've heard him on the show. We affectionately call him the Bone Doctor. He's a rules Guy Impersonator on Patreon, coming to us from Michigan. Chase Ansok. How are you, Chase?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Of course.
Now, the funny thing is no consequences for Chase, right?
No, that's true, because
Chase can only win.
Right. Chase can only win because he is contractually obligated to fix our bones. We don't want to offend him, so he puts our bones in the wrong place. So Chase, tell us about yourself.
That's how we wrote it up.
Yeah.
So I'm an orthopedic surgeon in the Detroit, Michigan area. And then usually try to get out of the house a couple times a week and do some curling and some trivia. It's not all bones all the time.
And you have some good news recently, you were telling me?
My wife and I are expecting our first daughter in May.
Hooray.
So as soon as we wrap up here, we're headed to our baby shower. So
congratulations. And your baby is not on the line, but Marcus's house is on the line. That's what we're making clear.
We could put naming rights on the line.
Ooh.
Wow. That's big.
Namey McNameface or something. Yeah. Well, we have our two players here. If you aren't familiar with our game, we come out every Tuesday. Our episodes, general knowledge trivia, just like when you go to the pub. But we do have a set of rules. They're going to be the same for today as they always are. It's going to be a little bit different for the people playing at home, but not too much. So, Ken, why don't we throw it to Darren to give us the rules read?
Let's do it.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
And then usually we would have a cream of the crop right here.
Yeah, can you guys give us your best Macho Man impression, Marcus?
I don't want to put my house on the line.
Unjustifiably forced to wager my property.
I think that one does it.
Shall we jump right in then?
Yeah, I think we'll jump right in. So basically the way that these questions are going to be set up is each of us wrote 5 questions plus a swing round and some final round questions. But Ken, why don't you tell everyone listening and those playing at home what the categories are today?
Yeah, our special category theme today are our episode titles. So we will tell you the title of an episode and the questions are kind of roughly based on those episode titles. So I'm going to start it right off with question 1, Concussed Neal or Table Bros, a love story. The question is, the inclusion of alternative titles such as Or Pearls Before Swine, or The Children's Crusade, A Duty Dance with Death, and Or Goodbye Blue Monday are a staple of what celebrated 20th century author of fiction?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite authors, probably like one of the first time I started reading for fun in middle school and high school. I think I went through almost his entire catalog. So this is my jam.
So Chase sounds like he's locked in. Marcus, where are you at with this one?
Reading? What's that?
Are you a big reader, Marcus?
No. I consume all content through my ear holes. Nowadays, at least.
It's a painful way to consume a book, but I appreciate the effort.
I tried. It was weird. Lots of paper cuts. Not fun. Honestly, this isn't something I'm too familiar with, so I'm going to call upon my training and probably have to throw out a wild guess here.
All right, Marcus, go ahead with that guess. It sounds like all of our at-home teams are locked in.
I am going to lock in Randall.
Chase, what do you think?
All right, so this one I know. The Goodbye Blue Monday was the other title for Breakfast of Champions. And then Slaughterhouse-Five is the Children's Crusade. I don't know Pearls Before Swine, actually. But anyway, this is Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah, it is Kurt Vonnegut. And I'm, too, trying to remember the Or Pearls Before Swine. And we'll get back to you because I can't remember. It might be the Mr. Rosewater one. But
maybe. Because it's not Cat's Cradle.
It's not Cat's Cradle. But we'll look it up in between while I read this next question. Question 2, episode The Sting. Fade Rautha Harkonnen, a character made famous by Sting in Underpants, the singer, not the wrestler, will be portrayed in Dune Part 2 by what 2022 Academy Award nominated, as of today, actor? Today is March 4th?
March 4th.
March 4th.
Yeah. We're in a void though, so it could be either way. It could be the third, could be the fifth.
So I say Academy Award nominated because we don't know the results yet.
Now, I haven't actually seen the Denis Villeneuve Dune adaptation, but this actor that they're looking for was not in the first installment, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Oh.
So do you guys know the character from the David Lynch Dune?
I mean, I know I remember reading Dune. I saw the most recent film. I mean, I know who the Harkonnens are, but I do not know what actor we're looking for here. So
Okay. The real question is, who is nominated for Best Actor this year?
Much to my chagrin, or much to one of my team's chagrins on Twitch, I can unfortunately announce the correct answer is not WCW champion David Arquette.
All right. Well, all of our teams are locked in. Do you guys have answers?
The only person that I know that's nominated, and I don't think he's going to be in a Dune movie, but we'll go with Elvis, Austin Butler.
Okay. Marcus?
Yeah, I was thinking of young, handsome people, and I was pretty sure he was nominated for Elvis, so I also was going to lock in Austin Butler.
Yeah, I do believe he is the youngest, handsomest nominee this year, and the correct answer is Austin Butler. Good job, guys.
There you go. Got worked out.
Ken, that's just because you weren't nominated this year.
All right, moving on to question 3. The episode was Roll for Intelligence. On point for today's game. The first appearance of the monster Mimic in Dungeons & Dragons was in the 1977 edition of the Monster Manual. The image featured the creature disguised as an item about to absolutely lay out an unaware adventurer with a surprise right hook. What item, its most common representation, was the Mimic disguised as?
Dana here, the owner of Critical Grind, shot her hand up about halfway through the question. She's like, "Oh, finally, I got one."
I'm glad I can make somebody who's not Marcus happy, because he does not look happy right now.
We need to meet Dana because we want to try this Chaos Toast, because I'd like to roll and figure out what's going to be in my stomach.
I gotta tell you, I appreciate the idea of having a little bit more chaotic good in my life. So.
Hey, let me ask, somebody actually rolled for Chaos Toast here earlier today. Dana, what was the combination? I think it was whipped ricotta on an everything bagel with shaved coconut, peanut butter. It was not ricotta, I'm learning. It was peanut butter, everything bagel, peanut butter, blueberries, ranch dressing, coconut shavings, and lavender flour.
Pure chaos.
And it turned out...
Did he just roll all ones? What happened?
So with that joke, Chase, it sounds like you know a thing or two about D&D, but do you know what the Mimic was disguised as?
I don't know this for sure, but my instincts say it has to be a treasure chest, or just a chest.
Okay, Marcus.
It's disappointing when you have a lot of knowledge about nerdy stuff, but have zero knowledge about certain nerdy things. And I have zero knowledge of any of this, so I said a hammer.
Yeah, it is a treasure chest, and the image is great if you can look it up. It's like usually the Mimic is shown as like having teeth and a big like mouth about to bite the adventurer, but in this image it's just
like
about
Super
to
Mario.
just about to punch him. It's a pretty great picture. All right,
I've seen some beautiful like 3D printable renderings of Mimics in that treasure chest form. Makes me wish my 3D printer worked.
There's also a really good cosplay from this year where someone like she is a treasure chest but can pop out of it as a Mimic. It's very good. Anyway,
excellent. Moving on to question 4. The episode title was Schrodinger's Back Tattoo. The question is, a special edition Barbie with a giant pair of wings tattooed on her back was released in 2008 to mixed reaction. This Barbie was the result of a collaboration between Mattel and what other company?
This is the tattoo you have, correct? The wings on your back?
I thought this was the Schrodinger's tattoo that you potentially had.
I potentially could have or have not a tattoo of giant pair of wings on my back.
The only way to know is for us to peek behind the shirt, but we're not going to be doing that on today's live stream.
You have to walk down the yellow brick road to peek behind my shirt. So.
Yeah, as the only patron of Triviality in the special OnlyFans section, I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of Neal's back tattoo.
You found that?
I paid for it. That knowledge belongs to me.
Very exclusive.
If she can find it, you can find it too. So search the dark web.
That's true.
Exclusive, explicit, potato.
All right, waiting for our at-home players to lock in. Marcus, any ideas on this one?
Well, as a avid collector of Barbies, no, I'm not that. But I mean, no, I don't have any tattoos, or piercings, or a house apparently seems.
We'll start getting to work on the paperwork.
yeah.
Well, Marcus,
yeah.
do you have
Are you guys going to use this as like a timeshare of some kind?
any guesses? All of our at-home listeners are in.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know what would be a good
big pair of wing tattoo.
Oh yeah, huh? Big wings. Ooh, the hated Southwest. How about that? Walk in with that.
Southwest Airlines. Chase,
I love
any ideas?
Southwest Airlines, Barbie.
So this might be a ridiculous stretch, but I heard the tattoo. I think Hell's Angels. Maybe this is like Harley Davidson with like a badass biker Barbie.
Right, you are, Chase. Harley Davidson.
And if you get a little rowdy, the Barbie will stab you like the Hell's Angels.
She actually came with a set
Special
of brass
edition that
knuckles,
comes
right?
with the realistic knife action.
And my final question for the first quarter of the game. Icelandic upper decker. Bjork treated everyone to an Icelandic surprise when she showed up to the 2001 Oscars ceremony in the famous swan dress. After Dancer in the Dark, she had vowed never to act again, but this proved untrue as she appeared in what 2022 Robert Eggers film? You see any Robert Eggers films this year, Chase?
I only saw one, and if it wasn't for that clue, there was no way I was getting this. So.
Oh, so you're locked in.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Chase is locked in. Marcus, it's up to you now. What do you think?
You can go ahead and give your answer.
Directors are always something that I know I should pay attention to, but I don't. But Bjork gave me something, and I'm pretty sure that it was released in 2022, so I locked in with The Northman.
Chase.
And I agree with that. It came out at the beginning of the year, and Ansok is a Norwegian name. We even still have like a little farm out in Norway, so this was The Northman.
Correct on both accounts. It is The Northman. Nice job, guys.
I don't remember Bjork in that movie at all.
Yeah, she had a very brief, fleeting role, but in it she was.
Well, after 5 questions, Chase batting perfect with 50 points, and Marcus with 20. So you're still in it, Marcus. You're on the board. That's all that matters. You still have fingernails on the house.
Don't worry, Marcus. I didn't know any of those, so.
Chase doing quite well in this game, beating the online and live kibitzers. No better social distancing in the Atlantic Ocean, and Moody Blues currently tied for first on my leaderboard at 40 points.
Oh,
apiece.
wow.
Wow. Keep it up, Chase. Yeah, great job to these teams as well. Now, Matt couldn't be here, as we said, traveling the world, but he supplied 5 questions for us, and we'll go around here and read them. Ken, do you want to read the first one here, just in honor of our special guest?
The Bone Doctor.
Question 6. All right, go ahead, Ken.
In 1677, Robert Plot is credited with what major discovery, although it wasn't known what he actually found until a geology professor at Oxford got a hold of it.
Now, Marcus, I believe you have a minor in Oxford geology history.
I have a minor in professional wrestling.
It helps that I majored in specifically in 17th century British bones. So.
Oh, good.
I'm fairly glad that this question is not actually geared towards Chase, just because he's in the lead right now. It would be unfair to give him a straight up Bone Doctor question. But I guess Bob Plot is a bone doctor in his own right.
He's the breaking bone doctor because he's snapping me like a twig right now.
Now, Chase, I'm just curious, as the bone doctor, I've seen a lot of things on the internet that people are doing the Gattaca thing where they extend their shins to get taller. Is that true? Like, are people extending their bones?
That is a real thing that people are doing, and it is a horrible, horrible idea.
Oh, wow.
But at least
I don't
want to
be a
see
short
some
king
heads
anymore.
at concerts. Chase, what was your guess?
So I think the little extra flavor there that they didn't realize what it was until a long time later. So my thought is maybe they found a dinosaur bone.
Okay. Marcus?
Yeah, when people find bones, I immediately think of dinosaurs, so I locked in dinosaur bone.
Yeah, that is correct. And I guess it was the first named dinosaur as well that they found. Shall I continue?
Yeah, why not? It's mentioning you on this one. We got to go for it.
Question 7, jacked nihilist Garfield. James A. Garfield comes from a long line of presidents from this state, the birthplace of 8 U.S. presidents.
I believe that's either tied for first or the second most of any state.
Well, you would know. You guys would know. I don't know anything about the presidents.
You would think.
I actually, presidential home states is one area that I just simply cannot get myself to care about.
We should make a list of where it would be most fun for the presidents to be from.
I'm between two, and it is a straight up coin flip. I know there's a ton of presidents that are from Virginia, but I also know there's a lot of presidents from Ohio. I think I'm gonna go with Ohio with very limited confidence.
Okay, Marcus.
I also locked in with Ohio. To me, I was thinking or Pennsylvania. I don't have a strong feeling, but I thought I remember hearing Ohio, so that's just hoping it's right.
So not only does Drew Carey love this place, but they did try to go to war with Chase's home state. This is Ohio.
Yeah. Do you think there's a lot of nihilists in Ohio?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do you think there's a lot of jacked people in Ohio?
Probably.
I mean, if my river were on fire, I think I'd become a nihilist.
We believe in nothing, Lebowski.
Most astronauts are from Ohio because the best way to get away from Ohio is to go to space.
With an excellent point, moving on to question 8. We've made a huge mistake. Despite the name of the winner being written directly on the card, Warren Beatty called out this name instead at the 2017 Oscars. Perhaps he was listening to a Randy Newman song backstage. Where were you when you saw the Warren Beatty mess up?
Yeah, that's lower on my list. I don't remember where I was at the time.
It was a cultural event, Jeff. And I don't know if you've been following Warren Beatty, #WarrenBeatty on social media because he's trending. He has the rights to...
Hopefully for not bad reasons.
He has for good reason. Yeah, he has the rights to Dick Tracy. He was the Dick Tracy character for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And in order to keep
That's
those...
Richard Tracy, you put some respect on that.
Yeah, Mr. Richard Tracy, he has the rights to the character, and instead of letting anyone else do a movie about Dick Tracy or Richard Tracy, he holds the rights, and every 5-10 years he does an interview on TCM, Turner Classic Movies, in character that's very awkward, just so they can continue to hold the rights. Nice. So if you can go online and type in Zoom, Dick Tracy, TCM, the latest one, it's very weird and kind of just strange, but it's a fun watch.
So Warren Beatty's taking Dick Tracy to his grave is what you're saying?
I think so.
On that note, we are all locked in at home, so let's get the answers from the gentleman. Chase.
So this is my second favorite Oscar gaffe after John Travolta calling Idina Menzel Adele Dazeem. That's so good. But the winner was Moonlight, but I think the card said La La Land.
Marcus.
I had no idea. I couldn't even remember who was. I don't watch that, and I knew the thing was that he said the wrong thing, but I had no idea, so I had no answer.
All right. Well, the correct answer is La La Land. So more points for Chase. The rich get richer, and let's give it up for Faye Dunaway as well.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chat actually pointing out during the stream that Warren Beatty didn't make the announcement of La La Land. He passed the card over to Faye Dunaway, who actually said it. Just because I've got some awesome trivia folk who know awesome trivia things, wanted to bring that up.
Forget it, Jay. It's the Oscars.
And just a reminder, I did not write this question. It was Matt.
Let's all blame Matt, please.
Yeah, send your hate mail to Matt.
Yes, please email Matt.
All right, question 9. Let's do a hockey. Finally, a sports question for Marcus here, but it is hockey. Do you like hockey? I know you're a big football.
Oh, now that we have a hockey team, I'm all in.
All right.
The Kraken.
Brett Hull leads All-American-born hockey players in points with 1,391. The person fourth on the list was just traded from one original six team to another. Name either of these teams. And again, today's date, March 4th.
March 4th, 2023.
March 4th, 2023.
So
we're talking in the last 2 tree days.
Yeah, I'm assuming he would be much further down than 4th on the list if we included the Canadian and other national hockey players, right? Because
a little bit,
quite a few of those on the top of this list.
Looking for a team here, everybody. Just to be
yes,
clear,
either team involved in the trade.
Yep, name either of these teams. And speaking,
so you have a pretty good chance because you only need to name one of the original 6 teams, basically.
Yes.
And the original 6, I believe they made a Netflix movie about that with Adam Sandler. Is that right?
Well,
maybe not.
You got to connect the dots here.
Oh, okay. There's it's a dumb Netflix movie joke. It's okay.
Oh, the ridiculous 6
or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are the original 6 teams ridiculous though?
Too much of a stretch.
Too much. Yeah, it is.
If you're gonna reference like Big Daddy or like Billy Madison,
that's true.
That's fine. But
or Little Nicky
or Jack and Jill.
He's done literally 1,000 Netflix films, so you can't ask me to remember.
But I will say his latest Hustle, the sports movie, is very good. He was good in that.
Jay, how are we looking with at-home answers?
Oh, that movie is so bad. I was just gonna say that, Chase. That's his worst movie. It's not even close.
Which one? Don't mess with the
like how do you do Uncut Gems and then immediately follow it with Hubie Halloween? It's just incredible.
Uncut Gems?
Should we? Well, I know, Markkus, you're getting into hockey now. Do you want to start with where your mind's at on this one?
Yes. I know exactly the trade and whom. So I will lock in with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Okay. Chase?
I did not know the exact trade, but I think the answer is Patrick Kane, and I know he played for the Blackhawks. I don't know where he ended up getting traded to, but I also went with the Blackhawks.
Yes, the answer is Patrick Kane went from the Chicago Blackhawks to the New York Rangers, and I will be buying my Rangers jersey.
That's just because you love Artemi Panarin.
I wanted to see the reunion between Kane and Panarin, the all-time greatest hockey duo to exist.
Wow.
I'm saying it now.
Just cutting out JT over there.
I was going to say, I was like, Jonathan Taves.
They only won like 3 Stanley Cups together.
It was just so it was just too fun to watch them play together.
Yeah,
and it was almost replicated with the DeBrincat Kane line, but
much like when we play together here.
If Aaron is watching or listening, I will be a Rangers fan now. Let's move on to 10, the Fanta Menace. In which country does Fanta originate? It was created by a foreign branch of the Coca-Cola Company when a trade embargo with the U.S. made getting the syrup for the original Coca-Cola impossible.
Now, if you've listened to our show, I believe that this question was kind of explained in the episode.
The Fanta Menace episode.
Yeah, the original, the origin of the soda brand Fanta. So
now Coca-Cola is based in the city where I was born. Do you know where that is, Jeff?
Hotlanta.
Hotlanta, that's correct. Or the ATL, as I call it, and Bow Wow, I think, calls it. Markkus. I was just trying to get a reaction.
Were
on
you thinking TI?
Well, TI too, but I wanted to say Bow Wow.
Ah,
of course.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Are you guys in the loop on the Fanta situation?
No,
not
at all. I definitely, like, you guys are 100% right. This came up on that episode, but you guys have made so many of them. They all that knowledge just kind of gets like
I get it
together.
I will say this was one of my favorite episodes to Photoshop art for, because I did Anakin like mind crushing a Fanta can.
It was a good one.
I also, being on this side of it, podcasting on the shows and everything, I don't remember a single thing I've ever said on the show. So
correct. And people will sometimes reiterate things that you've said about yourself, and you're like, how do you know that?
About me.
Because you said it.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
I don't remember that, though. And it looks like our timer is ticking down, so everybody should be locked in, or they've gotten the question wrong. I hope you locked in. Chase, what did you say?
I think my perfect score is going to the grave here. Fanta makes me think of the Don't You Want to Fanta, which is like a little salsa number. I'm going to go with like Argentina.
Okay. And Markkus?
Yeah, I thought of that song immediately, and I just
locked in with Colombia.
It's very likely that some of the people involved in the original Fanta brand ended up in Argentina after.
Good connection. Yes, the correct answer is Germany. I believe it was a product of the World War II trade embargoes.
Pre-World War II embargo.
It's Nazi cola. Correct.
Yeah, they were using whatever fruit they had abundance of at the time.
It was.
I did not
now
see that
it's
coming.
just regular evil corporation.
Right.
Just a normal
Not
corporation.
super evil, just regular evil.
Right.
After the first round for Chase and Markkus picking up 30 more points, bringing his total to 50. So he's got some nice points on the board. And Chase, as he said, missed that last question, but was 9 for 9 right before it. So you have 90 points.
That was the bone breaker.
It was the bone breaker.
And over to Jay for the players at home.
Yeah, that puts him tied with the overall leaderboard I have on Twitch with the Moody Blues and No Better Social Distancing the Atlantic Ocean, who went perfect in that second half of the first round. They're sitting at 90. Just to call down a few more teams. Habitually Truant with 70 points. Decaf Coffee Really Grinds My Beans and Team Coast to Coast each sitting at 60 as we approach the swing round.
Before we move on with the game, we just want to relay this message to you. For the next 2 months, Airwave is going to be conducting our survey to help us get to know you, the listeners, better and your interests. Please support our podcast by taking the questionnaire at surveymonkey.com/r/airwave. It only takes a few minutes, and your feedback will help us improve our show and find new sponsors that interest you. Also, tell us anything you want at the end. As our way of thanking you, you'll be entered to win a $500 Amazon gift card. Hey, that's a pretty good gift. And all you have to do is go to surveymonkey.com/r/airwave, and you'll be entered. Or you can click on the episode notes and find the link.
Now, Jay, I think for the players at home, we're going to go into the swing round here in a moment, but it's basically just going to be like we normally record it. We're going to give all the clues first, and then we'll come back and read them one more time and get answers from our competitors, Chase and Markkus, and everyone else can answer at home. Is that right?
Yep, that's what I've got going. They are prompted to listen up and to take any notes they need to as you read through the swing round.
Great. I just want to do a quick mention for Jay, Chase, and Markkus. They're all Patreon supporters that really help support our show. So if you want to join them, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. You can get a bunch of great perks, bonus audio content, and all of our new main feed episodes ad-free over there that usually come out about a day early. Jeff posts them there for you if you want to listen before anyone else. If you like to be at the store early to get the Power Ranger.
If any of these titles appeared to you to be really particularly funny or even dumber, on the Patreon. So
there you go. So today's swing round, it's basically going to be all lyric based. Okay, so you're going to guess the artist by the opening lyrics to one of their famous songs. This round was inspired by appearances of certain artists who either make a cameo or perform a song on shows like The Simpsons and Futurama, if that gives anyone who is a super fan a hint. And that's basically it. We're just going to run through these. It's going to be the opening lines of some famous songs, and we just want you to name the band or artist.
Are we going to do them like Robert Goulet?
We could if you want.
1999.
So our first question here, as Ken just said, is coming from 1999. The lyrics are, "Can't you hear those cavalry drums hijacking your equilibrium? Midnight hags in the mausoleum where the pixelated doctors moan."
Moan.
So that is question one. Ken, do you want to take question two?
Sure. This is 1991. What I got, you gotta give it to your mama. What I got, you gotta give it to your papa. What I got, you gotta give it to your daughter. You do a little dance, and then you drink a little water.
All right. Jeff, you want to take number three?
Absolutely. From 1998. Well, now, don't you tell me to smile. You stick around, I'll make it worth your while. My number's beyond what you can dial. Maybe it's because we're so versatile.
Number four is coming from 1984. One man come in the name of love. One man, he come and go. One man comes he to justify. One man to overthrow.
Is that the same man or are these different men?
It's debatable. I have no idea.
All right, 1986. End of passion play, crumbling away. I'm your source of self-destruction. Veins that pump with fear, sucking darkest clear, leading on your death's construction. Yeah.
All right, I will take question 6 here from 1971. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. And it's going to be Marcus's house. All right. Question 7 is an oldie but a goodie coming to us from 1966. Sunshine came softly through my window today. Could have tripped out easy, but I've changed my ways. It'll take time. I know it, but in a while, you're going to be mine. I know it. We'll do it in style.
This is a hard one. All right, next, 1993. You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold.
Classic 1993. With so much drama in the LBC, it's hard of being redacted. But I know somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass like every single day.
Very nice, Jeff. And
we'll bleep that.
And number 10 from 1975. Backstroke lover. Always hide underneath the covers. Till I talk to your daddy, he say. He said, you ain't seen nothing. Till you're down on a muffin, then you're sure to be a change in your ways.
Did not know those were the lyrics.
Oh, I know. I didn't either once I read those.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
We're back to question 1 from 1999. Can't you hear those cavalry drums hijacking your equilibrium? Midnight hags in the mausoleum where the pixelated doctors moan.
This is Beck, but I can hear his voice, but I just don't know the name of this song.
Okay.
Marcus?
I had no idea. So I said Madonna. I don't know why. I just had to put something down.
It does sound like a Madonna title for the song.
But it is Beck.
It is Beck. Yeah.
The song in question is Sex Laws.
2 X's for sex.
All right. 1991 for question 2. What I got, you got to give it to your mama. What I got, you got to give it to your papa. What I got, you got to give it to your daughter. You do a little dance, and then you drink a little water.
Yeah, this is some old school Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's right.
Before
Marcus?
they sold out super hard.
Marcus, what did you have?
Yes, I also caught on pretty quick that this was the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hard to get away from that one. It is Red Hot Chili Peppers.
And the song, Give It Away.
Give it away. Great drumming by Will Ferrell on that track.
All right, we got 1998. Well, now, don't you tell me to smile. You stick around and make it worth your while. My number's beyond what you can dial. Maybe it's because we're so versatile. Thank you.
This is... Right, what was this one more time? Oh, this is the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the first albums that I bought with my own money, Hello Nasty by the Beastie Boys.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Beastie
Intergalactic.
Boys.
Now, I was going to make this sabotage originally for the clues because on Futurama, the Beastie Boys are heads in jars.
Yeah,
and
they do an a cappella
They do an a cappella version, but I ended up choosing Intergalactic.
They also performed that in this episode that you're talking about in Futurama.
So
remember, intergalactic is both planetary and planetary is intergalactic.
There you go. Number 4 from 1984. One man come in the name of love. One man he come and go. One man comes he to justify. One man to overthrow.
I had no idea for this one. I went with the Rolling Stones, even though I know they have a different ridiculous song that kind of sounds like that's not the right lyrics.
And Marcus, what about you?
I had no idea, and you said a lot, so I said Nick Cannon.
I think once you hear this one in the cadence of the song, it's a lot easier to pick up. But this one is In the Name of Love, Pride by U2.
All right. Now, Jeff or Ken, I'm not sure. Ken, you did a great reading of this one for number 5. So if you want
Sure. Question 5, 1986. End of passion play, crumbling away. I'm your source of self-destruction. Veins that pump with fear, sucking darkest clear, leading on your death's destruction. Yeah.
Yeah, just bringing on the last season of Stranger Things. That's some classic Metallica, Master of Puppets.
Marcus.
Yeah, Metallica.
Yes, Metallica is correct. Moving right along to question 6, 1971. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. Taking a few seconds to get the lock-ins on this one. I feel
Ken, I want to pay you to narrate children's books in that cadence and in that voice.
I would accept that job because, boy, that would be nice to make a living that way.
Well, you should do the Metallica one.
I'm open for voiceover work if you really want.
There you go. Ken reads heavy metal to children. That's your new stretch goal.
All right.
Or if you're a Patreon subscriber and that's the message that you want.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're a Savage Superstar hire, you can just tell us to record any sort of message for you. We'll do it and we'll send it. So if that's what you want.
Foolishly, we didn't put a word limit on that.
That's right.
Let's be reasonable. I'll do up to 1 page of Lord of the Rings.
Chase, what do you got?
This is it's a little bit funny. Is like the only part that I can like get the exact melody, but that is Your Song by Elton John.
All right,
Marcus.
Wow, I'm very disappointed in myself because that sounds about right. I didn't have an answer, but I did it. I did that song in choir in high school. Like that's a bummer.
It's a little bit funny, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is Elton John, Your Song.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Reginald.
Sometimes it's hard when the lyrics are just spoken. Question 7, 1966. Sunshine came softly through my window today. Could have tripped out easy, but I've changed my ways. It'll take time, I know it, but in a while, you're gonna be mine. I know it. We'll do it in style.
This might be the hardest one of the batch.
It is.
But once you know it, you'll hear it, I think. And it seems like Marcus and Chase aren't too confident on it, but Chase, what did you put down?
It's the 60s. I don't know the song. It's probably the Beatles.
Not a bad guess. Marcus?
Same. It's hilarious that we arrived at the same thing. I was just like, yeah, it's the 60s. Say the Beatles and be done with it.
They had a lot of songs. Not a bad guess.
Yep, but it is Donovan with the song Sunshine Superman.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know that one.
If you heard it, Sunshine came softly through my window today. He sang Mellow Yellow. Other songs. Anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, that one played very tough on my end, too. 2 teams. That's it.
Oh, well, this is the hardest one then. Sorry about that, guys.
Well, in 93, we had You'll Remember Me, When the West Wind Moves, Upon the Fields of Barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold.
I'm glad you took
Big hint on this one.
Yeah, I gave a little hint on the end there.
Yeah, I'm happy that you took your time on that one.
Yeah, really took your time. Stayed in that question.
Everybody's
right. Locked in. Let's exit this joke and move over to Chase's answer.
The hints did not help me there. I don't know. I have nothing for this one. I don't even have a guess.
All right,
it's a shame.
By God, I think it's Sting.
May or may not have been the category for a question we've already asked today. Yeah, this is Fields of Gold by Sting.
1993. With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being redacted. But I somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass every single day.
Like every single day.
And for the record on this one, this person cameoed on Futurama, and I tried my hardest to find a song with the opening lyrics that were clean enough to put on the episode. This is the only one.
It's pretty funny.
That's great.
So, and I think Chase and Marcus are both feeling pretty confident about this one. And I had to put redacted there because the artist says their name quite a lot.
Yeah, that is Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Oh, I thought it was Jason Derulo.
And Marcus?
So interesting because I think that's nothing but a G thing, and I thought that was Dr. Dre. I was curious how you were going to do that if it was an either and or both.
I think the song is Gin and Juice, isn't it though? Which is just straight up Snoop Dogg.
It is Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice.
Ooh, all right. Yeah.
All All right. Last one, question 10, 1975. Backstroke lover always hide beneath the covers. Till I talk to your daddy, he say. He said, you ain't seen nothing till you're down on a muffin. Then you're sure to be a change in your ways. Yuck.
I guess you could technically give two answers, but if it's 75, the answer is Aerosmith.
Okay, Marcus?
I also had Aerosmith.
Yeah, I think this is before they did the team up in the 80s.
Walk This Way, yes.
And the swing round here, both pretty profitable for both players here. Marcus picking up 25 points, bringing his total to 75 points. And Chase picking up 35 points, which I believe, Jeff, for my math, is 125?
I believe, yeah.
All right, so it's 125 for Chase, 75 for Marcus, and we want to throw back to Jay for not only a score update, but for some very special news.
Yeah, we had at least one team here on Twitch go perfect through the swing round. So Moody Blues now leads all comers in my live and online participants at 140 points in this game. No Better Social Distancing in second at 130. Habitually Truant rounding out the top three at 100. And I would like to take a moment and announce both live and on the podcast that we just received a $100 donation towards our streamathon here in support of Critical Grind Cafe. I believe that puts our total to date with still 8 hours to go and change at just over $500 so far.
Nice.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you to everyone listening for all those donating. We really appreciate it. And we just, want to say thank you so much again just for having us over here and doing a game for everyone. We had fun writing these questions, and it's so nice to have Chase and Marcus here to help us with that. And now that the scores are 125 to 75, I just wanted to call out Ken a little bit because, Jay, earlier, your hot take was that The Sound of Music, the title song from the musical, is not very good, is overrated. And now Ken is saying Aerosmith's a terrible band, but you looked shocked.
I didn't say terrible. I said I didn't care for them.
Oh, you didn't care for them. Okay. They're not terrible. You just don't care for them.
Well, hey, diddle, Neal. We're out of the middle.
You know how many times you've been invited over to my house for dinners? That's why.
But we're going to be continuing our game here in just a moment. It looks like my questions are actually going to be next. But as we do that, we just wanted to double check everyone. If you aren't following us on social, you can go to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Triviality Pod. You can say hello over there. We also have a wonderful Discord community of almost 500 people. So if you're on Discord, you can find us from our website and other sources. You can get on the Discord. There's some wonderful things going on there, like play testing, some movie watch parties, and great things like that. So love to shout out everyone over at Discord. But yeah, I think we're pretty much good to go for the second round here. Are you both ready, Chase and Marcus? All right. So the first question from me is going to be from the category Kelsey Let the Dogs Out. Kelsey Grammer, best known for his portrayal of Seattle psychiatrist Fraser Crane, shared the screen with a canine companion known as Eddie the Dog, who would lovingly stare at Fraser and engage in all sorts of mischief alongside his owner, Martin, Fraser's father. This famous TV dog was what breed of dog originally bred in England for hunting foxes?
Well, I didn't really watch Frasier, but I know enough about it to know what the dog looks like. And then, you just know. I'm not a huge dog breed person, but I think this one was in my wheelhouse of
pop culture trivia.
Yes, exactly. Because as you've all seen so far, I'm going to be not very smart and homeless soon, probably.
Yeah, these are yappy, very energetic little dogs. I think this is a Jack Russell Terrier.
And Marcus?
I also had Jack Russell Terrier.
And you are correct. A little bit of flavor text. The first known Jack Russell Terrier that they call this, it was from a hunter named John Jack Russell, and his dog was named Trump. And that's all Jack Russell Taylors are from the line or lineage of Trump. Okay.
Rowan Ward in my Twitch chat is pointing out that the acceptable alternate answer is the breed of dog is very good dog.
There you well as every dog should be. Yes.
As they continue to point out. Yes.
Yes. All right. The next question is in the category of Triple Jeopardy. It's been announced that ITV, the British television network, will be mounting a reboot of Jeopardy, poised to air as a 20-part daytime series, bringing a modern twist to the proceedings with a third Jeopardy round. American Jeopardy host Ken Jennings tweeted, Nothing gives you imposter syndrome quite like sharing a job description with what revered British comedian, writer, and actor? No word from Hugh Laurie on the matter as of yet. So, Marcus, it doesn't look like you might know it, but do you want to just wager a guess here and throw one out?
Yeah, I have no idea, and I don't think they would allow him to do it, but I will say Ricky Gervais.
Okay. And Chase, doesn't look like you know it either. What's your guess?
No, you reinforcing the hint of Hugh Laurie gave it. I think this is Stephen Fry.
All right, and the answer is Stephen Fry. So that should be great. You might know him from QI, from him hosting that for many, many years.
Or Fry and Laurie.
Very good choice to host Jeopardy, too.
Yeah, very fitting, I believe. I'm not sure what everyone's saying in the chat with Jay, but seems like someone that everyone can pretty much get behind. All right.
They're saying that, I'm reminding them that it came up recently, a bit of Fry and Laurie in a World Trivia Federation question from a week or two ago, as a matter of fact.
Oh, there you go. All right. Question 3. This one is from the episode titled Mount Olympus Tinder. Modern gods and goddesses who just want to find love can look to the stars Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka to easily find what constellation named after a giant, handsome hunter from Greek mythology. To be clear, it was not named after the VHS manufacturer or distributor behind the Oscar-winning film Amadeus.
Nice. You had to put it in. I like it, though. I do like it.
Yeah, it's an interesting clue, I think. But
it's good to know. I take a gander up at this particular constellation every evening when I have the chance.
You don't see that logo pop up too much, you know?
You don't.
When you do, you know it's going to be good.
You know it's going to be a nice 80s movie or something, and I think they still exist. I'm not sure about the VHSs, of course, but the production company or distributor I think is still around. So, all right. So this one I know can get a little bit hard here. I know I named some of the stars. But Marcus, are you good on an answer on this one? What do you think?
I was struggling. I used to be pretty decent at Greek mythology, but instead of having that knowledge in my head anymore, it's like, where did this player that was drafted in the 5th round go to college? Stupid stuff like that took over that spot. But I locked in with Artemis.
All right, Artemis for Marcus and Chase.
It's not a bad guess because Artemis is the goddess of the hunt. But since you mentioned a hunter, I went with in 3 stars. So I pictured the 3 stars of Orion's belt. So I said Orion.
And it is Orion. Orion, yes, great. Great
job. These 3 stars hold up his pants.
They do, yeah. So that's what I call my belt. I call my belt Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. It's a very long name though.
Yeah, Ryan's belt, complete waste of space, only 3 stars.
All right. Well, on that review, we're going to go to question number 4.
Please say it with emphasis.
I'm Barry Gibb. So that's the category title. Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees and SNL parody fame, which I just referenced there, not only wrote and performed his own songs, but wrote for other artists as well. One of the most famous examples is a song he penned for a 1978 movie musical based on a famous Broadway show of the same name. Once he found the word, the music did the rest, and it became a huge hit for singer Frankie Valli. Name that show. And I accidentally put Frank Valli, which sounds like a mobster instead of a world-renowned singer. But
Frank
Don't
Valli.
call him Francis.
Yeah, exactly.
Frank Valli.
So Frank Valli sang this song.
He sang it for the movie. That's correct.
Voice.
He is the voice.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
And a little tidbit, I won't give too much away, but the song needed for the movie, they wanted it to be nice, lighthearted, fun, to match what the tone of the movie was. And the lyrics, if you listen to them, are very dark. And so when they asked Barry, hey, can you change the lyrics? He's like, why? They're fine. And then they just kept
they're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And
lyrics are fine.
Well done, Marcus.
The answers at home should be in, so let's get our answer from Chase.
Again, the hint that finally got me there was it was the word, and I think the word was the 1978 was Greece.
And Marcus.
I also locked in with Greece.
I believe it's also the time and the place, is it not?
That is correct. And that is a correct answer from both competitors. And shout out to Colleen. She just did a production of Grease not too long ago. And congrats to the cast and crew. It went really, really well.
And we'll be viewing it directly after this.
That's right.
Because it was either that or it was the bird.
And our last question in the first half of the second round is the category The Spy Who Loved Me. Neal Goes to London.
I like this name.
Oh, you're welcome.
I forgot this. I actually took Neal's face for the Photoshop on this.
All right, so the question is, fans of James Bond who grew up in the 90s hold Pierce Brosnan's portrayal of Ian Fleming's character in high regard, especially after the GoldenEye video game for the N64. Before Brosnan was Bond, however, he had a tryout of sorts playing a fictitious TV sleuth. By what name? Thankfully, they workshopped it from Mr. Metal Ammunition.
It's a funny clue, Neal.
Thank you. It's a big clue, so I'm not sure if it's going to hurt or help people. Especially those playing at home. I'm not sure what the get rate on this one's going to be, but it is not...
It's a long question about what character he played on TV.
That's right. And it was not named Mr. Metal Ammunition.
And that is a very ridiculous clue, but I think I got to it. Is this Remington Steele?
We'll see. Marcus.
I had no idea. So I didn't have an answer. I couldn't get there. Not in my head.
And Chase is correct. It is Remington Steele, a little scene TV series from the late 80s, early 90s. And at the end of the first half of the second round, Chase batting perfect, once again picking up 50 points, bringing his total to 175. Marcus picking up 20 more points, bringing his total to 95.
Moody Blues still rolling, now up by 20 over no better social distancing in the Atlantic Ocean. It's 190 to 170 with Habitually Truant just ahead of Chaos Toast for third at 150. Chaos Toast right behind at 140 with 5 questions to go in round 2.
All right, Jeff, take it away.
And I heard these are going to be bruising questions.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, I will continue here with the next question, question 6 in this round. And the category is Eve, Dawn of Curie. Equivalent to 37 gigabecquerels, which is the actual scientific unit, the Curie, much like the family that lends its namesake, is a non-SI unit for what phenomenon? All right. So it looks like everyone on the stream is locked in. Marcus, were you able to get this one here?
Absolutely not, but, I did my best.
Okay.
I don't have an answer.
Oh, okay. I thought you
the
took a
important
guess.
thing is you tried.
I tried really hard to come up with an answer, didn't.
Chase, were you able to get the answer to this?
Hopefully you guys can hear me, but I'm pretty sure the answer to this is like radiation.
We can indeed hear you, and you are correct. It is radiation.
Yeah. The Curie is a unit of radiation. It is not the scientific one, but it's named in honor of Pierre and Marie Curie. So.
And what was I telling you? The second good reason not to eat uranium was its calorie count.
Exactly. Yeah. Very
it's
high.
not worth the calories.
Because that's the concern, Ken.
Now, Jeff, this next question, the category describes one of the Triviality hosts' personality, I think.
I believe so too.
And we'll never confirm or deny who, but
no, and it may or may not be one of the fun guys' friends.
There you go.
That being said, the question 7 in this round is about odd charisma. Unlikely to be remembered in the history books for burning members of her own party or her lack of charisma, which conservative English politician was Prime Minister of Great Britain when Queen Elizabeth passed away in 2022?
I'm really trying to rattle it loose, but I don't think I can grab it. It's not in there. Well, it's there. I just can't pull it.
All right, so Marcus is going to tap on this one. So I think we're going to Chase for the answer of who was Prime Minister of Great Britain when Queen Elizabeth II passed away.
The lettuce prevailed. This was Liz Truss.
And the correct answer here is Liz Truss. Yeah, mostly going to be a footnote, I'm guessing, in 10 or 15 years. But probably you want to remember that one, lock it away in your trivia vault. So question 8. This one I did in honor of Jay. This one's a true or false. So true or false in question 8 is about equatorial bulge. So true or false? You need to add together the biomass of all animals, fungi, protists, bacteria, viruses, and archaea for it to be larger than the biomass of plants.
So for my non-scientific brain, you're just asking, of all the animals, fungi, protists, etc., are they all together larger than all the plants on the earth?
Correct. Is the mass of them more?
Okay.
Are they more massive as a group?
All right. I know my answer, so I'll lock in.
The why of the correct answer to this question is the best part. Because it's so tricky.
Yeah. It looks like they're just getting in those final bits of answers here. Jeff told me I was wrong. So
we can jump right in. Marcus, what do you think? True or false?
True.
So true.
All right. And Chase, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I remember someone said a statistic that there are more plants on the Earth than there are stars in our galaxy. So I was like, there's probably a lot of plants then. So I said that is true, that there's more plants than all the animal biomass.
So here's what I was getting at.
So the correct answer is false, but you are right in saying plants actually account for more than 80% of the biomass on Earth. So it's not even close as a group. Neal introduced that fact.
Plants, the Earth's real supergroup.
It was the correct answer is false, right. But it's just the reason why. So if you said false, that is an incorrect answer for the scorekeeping. Just for our viewers here, Chase is traveling right now, but it is because he had a heart out, but he's doing us a solid by staying on the stream for us as long as he can. We appreciate that. So just let us know, Chase, any updates that you might have. Okay. And go ahead with the next question.
All right. Next question is 9 in the round. The episode that inspired this one is Triviality, Criminal Intent. Being known mostly as the other micronation in Italy, after the Vatican, which country can lay claim to having the oldest constitution in the world? The next oldest, the United States, doesn't appear in the history books for almost 2 centuries.
Yeah, I don't know. Marcus, are you feeling okay on this one, or is this one kind of out of your comfort zone here?
I think we've well established that most of this is out of my comfort zone because I'm a dum-dum. So, yeah, I'm a little out of my depths here, but I was trying to make a short joke because you said micronation, but I can't do that to my fellow short kings. So I'm gonna tap.
So Marcus is going with Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
All right. So Chase,
Joe Pesci Island.
Marcus went with Danny DeVito, which is not a country. But what country do you have?
I'd want to.
I have San Marino.
San Marino is correct. Yeah, written approximately 200 years before the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution of San Marino. It's the oldest in the world. So well done. All right, and the last question in regulation is about our episode Quantum Batman. So quantum mechanics arose gradually from theories to explain observations that could not be reconciled with classical physics. One such observation came from Albert Einstein's 1905 paper on the photoelectric effect, which first identified that light had properties of what? And I'm looking for 2 specific answers here.
Why are you doing this to me?
That expression says it all.
Here, I'll buy you some time. I'd like to do a little reading. I asked
a little light reading.
I asked ChatGPT to describe Quantum Batman to me, and this is what ChatGPT said.
Let's just get an excerpt.
Yeah, Quantum Batman is a fictional version of the iconic superhero Batman. Batman's already fictional, but that exists in the realm of quantum mechanics. In this interpretation, Batman's abilities are based on the principles of quantum physics, allowing him to transcend the laws of classical physics. Quantum Batman's most notable power is his ability to exist in multiple states simultaneously, a property known as superposition. That means he can be in multiple places at once or take multiple actions simultaneously, making him an incredibly versatile and effective crime fighter.
So he's actually got powers. Marcus, did you have a guess?
So he's Batmite, basically. No, I don't have an answer.
Chase, did you have a guess or an answer?
So light is both a wave and a particle.
Yep, and that's the answers we were looking for. It has both the properties of a wave and of a particle. One of the first papers to establish that dynamic leading to quantum mechanics. So.
All right. Well, at the end of regulation here, Marcus unfortunately didn't get any points in that second half of the round, but he performed valiantly. He's going to end with 95 points going into the final round. Chase picking up 40 points, having missed the true or false there. So Chase will be at 215 going into the final round. Jay?
Chad has some opinions about those last 5 questions, bringing Marcus on because Marcus does a sports trivia podcast, and you hit him with nothing but science questions.
I thought Matt was going to write more sports questions. That's his deal. So hashtag blame Matt.
Exactly. As far as the leaderboard on my end goes, Moody Blues with 230 30 points going into the final 5. No Better Social Distancing holding serve there at 220. Chaos Toast taking the 3rd place position over Habitually Truant 190 to 160 as we move into the final round.
All right. We will now give you your final round categories. You, our players, Marcus and Chase, will issue your wagers now. At home, you will get the wager prompt with the question. So you're going to have a little leg up in that you'll be able to see the question and wager with it. But your categories are Ken Stradamus, Snack Time, Bonus, Seinfeld, Show Me That Lizard, and Making You Have Fun with Steven Spielberg, which I think was like our 2nd episode, or
it was
12th.
early.
It was early.
Yeah. There's a photo of a very young Neal with Steven Spielberg for that one.
That's right.
So, gentlemen, if you could please text us your wagers if possible, and we will begin reading the questions. All right. Question number 1, Ken Stradamus. Predictions through science has arguably been more accurate than those of Nostradamus. One famous example is the prediction of the existence of what planet before its discovery through mathematical modeling based on Newton's law of gravity. Question number 2, Snack Time. This one's from Matt. It turns out that the man on the Pringles can has a name. He shares this name with a famous doctor of sorts and a delicious drink that you can get at the food court.
All right. Question 3 is going to be in Bonus Seinfeld. The reason I picked this one is we have bonus episodes. So if you haven't heard our show before, you can find special categories like Seinfeld or other TV shows and fun little games there. In the Seinfeld episode, The Library, Jerry has Lieutenant Joe Bookman from the New York Public Library on his tail for an outstanding find from a 1971 book that he checked out. That controversial book is by Henry Miller, and that despite its title, was not about the most northerly circle of latitude on Earth at which the sun can be directly overheard. What is the name of that book?
Overhead.
Overhead, thank you. Not overheard.
All right, we've got question 4 here, category Show Me That Lizard. Being known for the ability to run on 2 legs and reaching speeds of up to 15 miles an hour, which lizard is also known as the Jesus Christ lizard for its ability to run across water at short distances? It shares a name in common with a European mythological creature known for being a serpent king.
All right, and the 5th category and final category, Making You Have Fun with Steven Spielberg. Falsely seen as a perennial shoo-in at the Oscars, Steven Spielberg has only won 3 Oscars out of 22 total nominations. 2 of those are for directing Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan. The Beard would have to win 2 more times to tie what man who holds the record for most Oscar wins for directing and loves to frame a horizon.
All right, so those are the questions. It looks like Marcus has wagered an Oakland 5 on each one of these questions. Chase has done 15 on everything except for Seinfeld because he hasn't seen an episode, is what he texted us. So let's go back to question 1, and you at home will be able to see that question as I read it a second time. Question 1, Ken Stradamus. Predictions through science have arguably been more accurate than those of Nostradamus. One famous example is the prediction of the existence of what planet before its discovery through mathematical modeling based on Newton's law of gravity. Now, Jay will let us know when the at-home answers are in. They are in, and we will be getting our answer from Marcus.
I had no idea.
Luckily, you have a limit of planets.
Right. And so I went with my favorite one, Uranus.
Okay. Chase, any idea?
Yeah, so I eliminated Pluto because I don't think that anyone really predicted that. But I think we're between either Uranus or Neptune. I went with Neptune.
And the correct answer for you guys and those at home is Neptune. So good job, Chase. All right, number 2, snack time. It turns out the man on the Pringles can has a name. He shares this name with a famous doctor of sorts and a delicious drink you can get at the food court. And Jay, we have the thumbs up from Jay. Marcus, what did you have for this one for 5 points?
I said Pepper.
Mr. Pepper. And Chase, what did you have?
Mr. Dr. Pepper.
I have no idea what doctor you're talking about, but it's definitely Orange Julius was the drink, so this is Julius Pringles.
All right. I can speak for Matt in saying that this is a Simpsons reference because I'm sure it's Dr. Julius Hibbert and Orange Julius. So it is Julius.
Or the basketball player.
Dr. J. Yep.
All right. Number 3, bonus Seinfeld. In the Seinfeld episode, The Library, Jerry has Lieutenant Joe Bookman from the New York Public Library on his tail for an outstanding fine from 1971 from checking out what then controversial book by Henry Miller that, despite its title, was not about the most northerly circle of latitude on Earth at which the sun can be directly overhead. Let's go to Marcus.
I had no answer. I have no idea.
All right, so
but again, I tried really, really hard.
We know you did. We just love your company here, though. So Marcus is going to lose 5 points on that question. Jay, are we okay on everyone else? Great. Chase, what do you got?
This is either Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn, and I cannot remember which one is which. I think they're in alphabetical order from north to south, so I said Tropic of Cancer.
And even though you didn't get any points, you are 100% correct. Tropic of Cancer.
Yeah, they are in fact in alphabetical order, north to south. That's the mnemonic I use to not get them screwed up all the time when I'm writing about them.
Good to know.
I will now remember that. All right, question number 4. Show me that lizard. Being known for the ability to run on 2 legs and reaching speeds of 15 miles an hour, which lizard is known as the Jesus Christ lizard for its ability to run across water for short distances? Shares a name in common with a European mythological creature known for being a serpent king. I believe it might also be a D&D monster in the monster manual, but that I didn't double check. All right, what do we have for
I can neither confirm nor deny, but the owner of Critical Grind is jumping up and down in the background at mention of it, so I think you might be on the right track there.
All right, Marcus, what did you have?
I locked in with basilisks.
And Chase?
I said that this was a basilisk.
Yes, these are basilisk lizards. Yeah, they come from the name meaning tiny king from the Greek, I found out, so...
And our final question, so excited to get here. You got a little bit of help if you saw The Fabelmans from this past year, nominated for Best Picture. Falsely seen as a perennial shoo-in at the Oscars, Steven Spielberg has only won 3 Oscars out of 22 total nominations. 2 of those are for directing, Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan. The Beard would have to win 2 more times to tie what man who holds the record for most Oscar wins for directing and loves to frame a horizon. And this one, as I said, if you saw The Fabelmans, you got a little bit of a clue there. It's a great story that's included in the movie. This director is someone that Steven Spielberg met when he was only about 17 years old and basically told him, don't go into the movie business. He did anyway, and who knows where he's going to be now, Spielberg. He's still an indie director, so...
yeah, maybe one day he'll break out into the mainstream.
Exactly. So basically, this question, if anyone wants to talk about it in the chat, he won 3 Oscars total, 2 for directing, as I said, Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan. The 3rd Oscar was for producing Schindler's List, which won Best Picture. So that's where his 3rd comes from.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go to Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus.
I had no idea. I discussed earlier my not paying attention to directors as much as I should. So I locked in with Coppola.
Okay, and moving on to Chase.
I had kind of kicked Coppola around as well, but I think this is Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, it is not Stanley Kubrick. Great
Only
guess,
Oscar he won was for visual effects. Right?
Visual effects, right? He's never won a directing Oscar, nor has Alfred Hitchcock. No, this is John Ford. John Ford won Oscars for The Informer, The Grapes of Wrath, How Green Was My Valley, and The Quiet Man. So John Ford, if you saw The Fabelmans, is the famous director Steven Spielberg meets and sort of inspires him to continue his movie-making career.
So John Ford had 4, is that correct?
He had 4 Oscars, that's correct.
So the question was written slightly incorrectly. He'd have to win 2 more times. I'm sorry. To tie. You're talking about for director.
Yeah, for director.
Apologies.
Yeah, don't come at me, Jeff. Okay. So the scores here. Chase, it looks like you picked up 30 points in the final round, bringing your total today to 245, which is going to make you today's cream of the crop. And Marcus, you only lost 15 points, which is totally great. You still have 80 points, which is a respectable score. But today's cream of the crop is Chase. And Chase, congratulations. And Jay, what do we have for the listeners at home? What do we have for a score there?
I have s'mores toast with bananas on it, courtesy of Critical Grind Cafe for lunch. But
nice.
As far as the players at home are concerned, Moody Blues ended up going pretty much wire to wire on this one, finishing with a grand total of 350 points. Now, it should be noted for Marcus and Chase and the listeners that due to the limitations of the platform that I use, teams were allowed to bet on their confidence of the question in the final round as opposed to their confidence on the category. So they did have some insider knowledge on that. No better social distancing than the Atlantic Ocean ends up finishing in the silver spot at 310, and a Chaos Toast and Habitually Truant ended up tying on my leaderboard for third at 250 points each.
Well done to all those teams and our players who joined us today. We'll say goodbye to Chase first because I know he's up against a deadline here. We appreciate you hanging in with us, though, Chase.
Yeah, thank you guys a ton for having me. Sorry for the audio issues at the end. We're on our way to the baby shower right now.
Yeah.
But this was a lot of fun. Thank you, Jay, for hosting this, and to the guys for all the questions. This is a great time.
Yeah, congratulations again to you. And no worries about the traveling. You let us know you had a deadline, and we appreciate you surpassing that deadline to stay with us.
Oh, no doubt. Thank you again for that.
And congratulations once more from all of us here. And if you need any name suggestions, please let us know. We'll give you some, but
I'm voting Babyality.
Yeah, feel free to bounce, Chase, and we'll continue without you. But we love having you on the show. We appreciate it. Congratulations again. Have a wonderful afternoon.
And secret congratulations to Marcus. Turns out that there was an error processing the deed transfer, so you were not going to be homeless following today's episode. So.
That's true. Yeah. Marcus, why don't you tell people that podcast you're a part of, because it's a fun podcast. It is sports-centric, but for anyone looking to bone up on their, pun intended actually for the Bone Doctor, but bone up on their sports knowledge for trivia, where can they find you?
You can find us. We are the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. There are 8 of us, and it's all sports trivia. So if you're into that or you want to learn more, we're got to get up to all sorts of shenanigans over there. It's Benchwarmers TP on all socials, and we would love to have you come listen, and you can hear me sound a lot smarter, even though it's sports, so not really, but I would appreciate that. Well, but thank you guys for having me. Jay, thank you for allowing me to be on. Last time I saw all of you was almost 3 years ago to the day in Chicago. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time, so I'm looking forward to one day, hopefully soon, coming out and seeing you all again in person.
We'll make it happen.
We would love that.
And thanks again to Jay for having us on the stream, and we appreciate being part of this. It's such a blast to do anything with you, really.
Oh, the pleasure is, as always, absolutely mine. I tell people this all the time, but I feel like you're my little nibblings in the trivia space, because I will always take ownership of you, even though you have far surpassed me. But tell Matt that he is my least favorite stepchild for moving away and not being on the recording. He knows what he did.
Fair enough.
Sincerely, thank you, Ken and Jeff and Neal for taking the opportunity, moving around your schedule to be able to take part in this. The folks here at Critical Grind are incredibly indebted to you. If people listening do want to continue supporting the Critical Grind Cafe, it is located in Shorewood, Illinois, criticalgrind.com. If you're in the Chicagoland area, and I know a lot of the listener base is, come check it out. They have over 600 board games, fantastic food and drink offerings. It is the most chill vibe, affirming, friendly location that I think I have ever set foot in, and it has been a privilege to put this event together for them. So thank you again, gentlemen, for the small part that you played in it.
Yeah, and thank you so much to Dana and Sean for allowing us to just be a part of this special day, and to everyone there in person, and also everyone playing at home, listening, everyone in the chat. We couldn't see the chat from our end, but we just know that it was not bashing Jay on anything of true or false questions, all that good stuff. Hopefully it was all compliments. That's all we want. It's just compliments to Jay.
Yeah, as far as you know, it was nothing but complimentary comments.
Good. Well, thank you so much. And of course, as we said, for being Patreon supporters, you can join us over there at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. And we do want to give a big shout out to our new network, Airwave Media. You can go to airwavemedia.com and just find a bunch of great new shows if you're looking for some new podcasts, especially ones that are historical based, trivia based.
Like this one right here, Bro History.
There you go. Or for Chase, even Baby Led Weaning. Made Easy with Kate Ferraro. So
maybe not specifically for Chase.
Maybe not specifically for Chase.
Well,
no,
maybe you could recommend.
I think he would want to participate in the support and process.
Yeah, and I do want to say,
like a good guy.
We got a wonderful email from a listener over on Patreon saying that they checked out the Labors of Hercule, the Hercule Poirot podcast. So great that they checked it out, and it was a fun time. So go to airwavemedia.com to get all of that stuff. And just one more quick thing, too. We said that there's a survey that you guys can check out for Airwave Media. It's at surveymonkey.com/r/airwave. It's going to be in the show notes. Jeff will put it in there for you. So if you have a minute, fill out that survey. It's just going to help us. It's going to help us get new sponsors that will fit you and all of our wonderful listeners better than just random ones in there. So we want to know what you think of the show, what you like, what you don't like, so that way the sponsors can fit your personality.
Yes, indeed. And you can find that questionnaire at surveymonkey.com/r/airwave. Just takes a few minutes, and the feedback will really help us get the sponsors down to stuff that really interests you.
That's right. And we just want to say one more time, a huge thank you to Jay and the Liquid Courage team just for everything.
I had to get it in there, didn't
I
you?
had to do it, yeah. Just for everything that you do. There wouldn't be Triviality without Liquid Courage, so thank you very much. Thank you to Markkus, our former Geek Bowl teammate, for joining us today. Chase for joining us on a very stressful day, but hopefully an enriching one. And to everyone listening at home for the podcast, listening, playing at Triv Now, for Jeff, Matt, Ken, Markkus, Jay, and Chase, my name is Neal, and that was Triviality.